Hello,
Hi.
my name is Andrea Nasteva, and today we begin our Q&A session with, can you please present yourselves?
Yeah, my name is Leja Vučko, and I'm the director and animator.
And I'm Damir Grbanovic. I'm a producer,
Editor,
editor. We both
co-author.
made some
Yeah,
sound effects and
yeah. Generally co-authors of the Legend of Goldhorn.
Perfect, let's see the trailer before we begin. So my first question for you two is how would you describe the relationship between nature and humans in this particular movie?
Well, yeah, this is a cautionary tale about how humans forget the true value of nature, that this is the real treasure, but we forget that and we search for material stuff and we want to take advantage of the nature and just use it for materialism and capital.
And what is the result of these actions?
Well, in the end, it's the defeat of the human because nature will survive in the end, even without us. So we are only destroying ourselves.
Perfectly said. But let's start from the beginning, from the legend itself.
Yeah.
Where did you find the inspiration in it? Where did you find the legend itself? I read it's a real legend, right?
Yeah. This legend originates from the Julian Alps. This is the highest mountains in Slovenia, and I'm from there. So these areas in these Alps are really connected to this story, and I've been fascinated by since a young age. And I wanted to do it in somehow. When I studied illustration, I tried with illustration, but it's really it's about this supernatural world of gods and natural spirits. So when I started working in animation, I realized that this would be the perfect medium to capture this story.
but the thing is that the legend today, people know about it because it's almost everywhere. We have the bear that has the logo, it's the gold horn for almost 100 years, but people don't know the story. So this
Yeah.
is also a way to preserve the story.
Yeah.
You present it in order to preserve it for others.
Yeah, it's written down many times, but it's forgotten. Every Slovenian is aware of the Goldhorn as this creature, but not the story itself and its message. So we wanted to bring it again out because it's really topical now.
And what do you think the Gohon symbolizes?
It symbolizes nature and the value of nature.
And its powerness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your film, there are a lot of folk and folklore details and traditional Slavic music. So how did you choose these two elements to be the key elements of your film?
Yeah, it's because it's from folktale. We wanted to capture this and stay true to this nature, even with the music. And the musician which did the music is also quite known in Slovenia for adapting traditional Slovenian folk songs into a modern time. And it's basically the same idea that we had with the film: take something really traditional and put it in a new medium and tell it in another current way. And so Janez made the music also using traditional Slavic instruments. And since there is no dialogue in the film, it was he made it so that each character has its own instrument and it plays into the music.
Uh, the full name of the musician
Yeah,
is
is
Janez
Janez
Doge. Janez Doge, musician. You can find him on Facebook. He works music also for film now, for some feature films. And the visuals in the film, for example, the house. It was a real house in Trenta, the completely traditional, originally preserved house that needed some renovation. And we had luck that on the day when we were there on the location, scouting for the environment, taking some photos so we could later replicate it in painting. We found the house the last day before they were renovating it. It was renovated with the whole cultural heritage rules that we have in Slovenia, but it was still completely original. So we took some pictures, we modeled the house in 3D, we made some shots so we could look how to plan it in VR, and later Leah hand painted all the details, items, everything like it should be. So we also preserve that thing, that values the physical things, because the oven, the furnace that's in the house, it's traditional for Trenta Valley.
Yeah, it's specifically from that area, and also like other objects like the clock in the house and the chairs are very typical of a old Slovenian house in the mountains. And we used also this for the bee, I don't know how do you say, it's a like house for the bees. And we had this specific like a panel that covers it, and it also, there's a lot of stories that are told there. So I used also this bee like hive, these pictures to and put them on the wall of the hunter's house. So there's a lot of these details, and also the mountains are like how the highest mountain is Triglav. So I also use that in the film. So just like a lot of hidden stuff, gems that represent Slovenia and our culture.
So from this conversation, all the details you explain, I can sense that not only you're very related to nature, but also to your own traditions, and you want to preserve it. Would you say that nowadays, not only in Slovenia, maybe in general, the traditions, the folklore, they're appreciated enough? Are they forgotten by the younger generations? What would you say?
I think there's a trend now that it's coming back. But I think for the most part, there was a lot of focus on the Nordic mythology, Greek mythology, all these great gods, but we've forgotten of our own, like we from smaller regions. And I think now it's coming back that like Slavic nations have a really good mythology and really powerful and rich, and I think it's coming back, but yeah.
And also heritage and history, everything.
Yeah.
All those topics are coming back. That's what you want to say?
Yeah, like you can find the best stories laying around you all the time. You just have to see them.
In your grandmother's house, for example, there are a lot of books, and you can find the great gems of history there. But I think maybe, as you said, in Slavic countries, maybe here in Bulgaria, people don't think about the past that much. But I also think it's coming back. I hope it's coming back, because they're so valuable. They need to be preserved and shown to other generations. Because I think for a lot of time in the long time ago, people didn't write them. It was only vocal.
Yeah.
So all those work passed from generation to generation, and now we forget it. It's sad.
When you think about it, for example, my grandma will be this year 90 years old, so she saw the time from horse carriage until the computer and today's technology in one generation. So it's quite a crazy amount of things that happen in the life of a one person.
Exactly, exactly. And what about next projects? Do you think to continue with this topic of folklore and traditions?
Currently, we're working on a script, but it's more based in modern and future times.
About the problem of uh, the
Our
our generation.
generation.
Yeah.
But I'm also working on a project that's also a bit of a adaptation of an Albanian folktale. So yeah, I'm still interested in this part, but yeah, for the next time we will.
But we also do. These are the short films that are mostly like works from the heart. But
Yeah.
besides that, we also animate things for the museums. So there's the topics is heritage all the time.
Yes. Yeah, we're most of the time connected somehow to our history or our current life. So
But you're Slovenian, right?
yeah.
Then why Albanian tale?
That's a project that's not, I'm working on it, but it's not from me. It's not my idea.
I get it.
Yeah.
And about the previous thing you said about your project, your shared project about the problems of the of our generation right now. Would you spoil something for me? Would you say what is the biggest problem in your opinion?
The biggest problem is the housing market. People can't afford a place to live, so we're constantly in this state of renting and just working to pay our rent, and yeah.
Yeah, and the degradation of society in general.
Like
People not talking to each other anymore, individualism on all levels, greed. It's
yeah.
the same topics all over the world. Doesn't matter where you are.
But some of the topics they are present even
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah, this is like a foreshadowing of what's about to happen, because it's an old tale and it's supposed to warn people, but it didn't work.
And it's also universal, like the
Yeah.
greed. It's like from 100 years ago. Like.
Yeah.
It's from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Would you say these?
Civilization, probably.
The beginning of a human being.
Yeah.
Exactly. But would you say it's these elements, these maybe negative parts of the humans are present in this black shadow always following the man?
Yeah. Yeah, he represents the dark side, the greed, the envy, the jealousy, the materialism, the want to possess things. So yeah.
And the nature always saves itself in the end because it's shot, and even though it still cures itself.
It heals itself in one way and another, but it's changed, it's forever changed, but it lives on in some ways, always.
The scar is always there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this session. Maybe if we
want
have
Maybe just one more thing.
to show.
If you're in Dom na Kinoto, you can find our flyers, and they're not normal flyers, but they're augmented. So you can take the teaser with you at
It
home.
plays the
Yeah.
sound. It works for free. It's like you can take a piece of the film with you.
Yeah.
Amazing detail. Thank you so much.
Thank
if
you.
Anyone has any questions, you're welcome. And if not, thank you,
Thank you.
for being here.
Thank you. Remarkable.